Thank you, Michael. Good morning, everyone. I'd just like to ask everyone here a question to start off with. What is the most important key word in agriculture today? Anyone? Sorry? I'd call that second. I'd go sustainability. This is a sustainability story. The Macquarie River in central west New South Wales is part of the Murray-Darling Basin. The river starts in the upper regions of Bathurst with tributary flows from small rivers such as the McCutcheon and Tabaga, and ends some 625 kilometres later where it enters the Barwon River. After World War II, there was a need to improve water supply to the Macquarie Valley, and in 1958 construction started on Burrendong Dam, about 30 kilometres upstream from Wellington, and was completed in 1967. The main purpose of the dam was to supply irrigation, stock and household needs, flood mitigation, and also to provide environmental flows downstream to the Macquarie marshes. Burrendong has a holding capacity of 1,188 gigalitres, almost 3 times that of Sydney Harbour. In 1965, 66 far-sighted men from Trangie-Nevertire formed an organisation to seek an allocation of water to be used in an off-river irrigation scheme. Consequently, the Trangie-Nevertire irrigation scheme was born. A cooperative was established which was run by the members for the members. Construction started on the irrigation scheme in 1970 and the first water testing run was in 1971. The scheme was officially opened in 1973. A total of 245 kilometres of earthen channel was built at a cost of $1.1 million, with a total area served of over 100,000 hectares, reaching almost to the Bogan River. The scheme had a total of 67,970 megalitres for use for irrigation and stock and domestic purposes. The relatively small towns of Trangie and Nevertire blossomed in the years to come, with cotton being the main production from allocation water. The allocation each year was set by New South Wales State Water, depending on how full Burrendong Dam was, ranging from 0% allocation up to 100. As you could tell by such a long earthen channel, one of the main concerns for members was transmission losses from the pumps at the river to each farm outlet. On average, the losses were around 28%, much less in a full allocation year and a lot more in a low allocation year. Losses were just something we had to put up with. For the next 40 years, the scheme's management tried to keep its operation and maintenance costs to a minimum. However, it was becoming apparent that the scheme's infrastructure was in need of major repair, and the overall operation of the system was in need of a major overhaul. In 2005, the cooperative set up the Blue Sky Committee and started to lobby politicians to see what funding might be available. Out of this, we secured some money to complete a feasibility study to establish what it might cost to upgrade and renovate our channel system. In 2007, John Howard announced the $10 billion National Water Initiative, which aimed to promote, coordinate effective planning and management for the equitable, efficient and sustainable use of water in the Murray-Darling Basin. From this came the Private Irrigation Infrastructure Operators Program, or PIIOP as it's commonly known. PIIOP aimed to improve the efficiency and productivity of water use and management of private irrigation networks and deliver water savings for the environment. In 2009, Trangie-Nevertire Irrigation Scheme, having already completed the groundwork with their feasibility study, put in an application in round 1, and on the 13th of April 2010, we were successful in obtaining $115 million to modernise the entire channel system. Under the agreement, we would transfer 29,620 megalitres of allocation to the Commonwealth Environmental Water Holder. There were 4 major components in our funding. 1 was to fully modernise our scheme channel. 2, red zone decommissioning. 3, a stock and domestic pipeline. And 4, green zone on-farm upgrades. Construction started in March 2012 and was completed in March 2015. In doing our feasibility study, we realised that the far outer reaches of our scheme were not viable to continue being irrigators. so we needed to trim the branches from the tree as such. These members would have to surrender their water and rationalise their irrigation properties and return to being dryland farmers. They became known as red zone members. The scheme channel in this area would be decommissioned and filled back into its original form. The members who would continue to irrigate would become known as green zone members. All members were required to contribute 10% of their delivery entitlement to the government in return for the funding to upgrade the supply channel. Our 4 main electric pumps were converted from direct drive to variable speed, allowing us to fine-tune the exact amount of megalitres of water that was ordered to save on overpumping. The now shortened channel of 143 kilometres was reshaped, and 108 kilometres was lined with EPDM rubber liner from Firestone in America. And the remaining channel was clay lined. The newly upgraded channel is now fully fenced on both sides with nearly 300 kilometres of new electric western fencing to protect it from wildlife. All structures and gates were upgraded to total channel control by Rubicon. An integral part of the red zone members, who now ceased to be irrigators, was that they wanted to retain their stock and domestic water. As a result, the Trangie-Nevertire stock and domestic system was born, and a pressurised pipeline system was designed to supply low volume, high availability water to some 88 members, controlling some 102 outlets. A staggering 229 kilometres of channel was laid, and it would follow the easement of the existing channel and ensure that each red and green zone member were guaranteed a supply of fresh river water for use for stock and domestic purposes. Each remaining green zone member also nominated additional megalitres in return for funding for on-farm works. This entailed irrigation infrastructure upgrades to each property. A total of 23 linear move and centre pivot irrigators were installed, old fields were re-lasered, and tailwater systems were upgraded. It is important to remember that this was not a water buyback, it was a water for infrastructure project. Our members contributed precious delivery entitlements in return for funding to upgrade and improve their scheme. Last year, we were able to start our pumps even when the allocation from Burrendong was only 2%, and we managed to reduce our losses to 8.4%. Before our channel was modernised, we would not have even started our pumps because our losses would have been in excess of 45%. The modernisation has enabled us to continue irrigating even in low allocation years. Our red zone members were kept happy with a constant supply of stock and domestic water all year round. The Trangie-Nevertire irrigation scheme's modernisation was a massive undertaking, and I'm very proud to say that we are very pleased with the way it has unfolded. We developed a great working relationship with the Commonwealth Government, and it has been a win-win for everyone. I'd also like to just thank Cotton Australia for inviting me here today to share our story. Thank you.